The humble tomato has long been a staple of the American diet, central to sauces, sandwiches, and ketchup. But now, a crisis is unfolding that's changing what ends up on our plates. Prices are soaring, tomatoes look different, and their origins are shifting. This isn't a temporary shortage, it's a fundamental change in how we get one of our most essential foods. Small businesses like Teresa Razzo's restaurant in Southern California are struggling as tomato costs skyrocket, threatening livelihoods built over decades. Shoppers face sticker shock, turning a once affordable staple into a luxury for many families. The impact goes beyond price. Jobs are vanishing, and family farms are shutting down across the country. Agricultural workers are losing their livelihoods, and entire communities built around tomato farming are at risk. The American agricultural landscape is shifting, with foreign competitors quickly filling the void. This crisis is rooted in trade disputes, failed agreements, and fierce global competition. Decisions made in distant offices are now reshaping what we eat and how much we pay. As we navigate this upheaval, we must ask, where should our food come from? What's the real cost of cheap imports? And what does it mean for our nation's security if we can't feed ourselves? The answers will shape the future of American farming and the choices we make at the checkout counter. The story of the disappearing American tomato is just beginning. The U.S. tomato industry's decline has accelerated into a full-blown collapse. 30 years ago, American farmers supplied 80% of the nation's fresh tomatoes. Today, it's just 30%. This isn't a minor dip, it's a near-total reversal, driven by a flood of cheap imports. Family-owned farms are closing, acreage is shrinking, and rural communities are losing jobs. Mexican tomato imports have surged by 400%, overwhelming the market. American growers say they can't compete with lower labor costs and looser regulations abroad. Many are forced to sell at a loss, leading to debt and farm failures. The crisis is national, affecting all major tomato-producing states, not just Florida. Farm bureaus and agricultural groups are calling for urgent action to save what's left. They warn this is about more than tomatoes, it's about food security and national security. Wilton Simpson, Florida's agriculture commissioner, says the collapse of domestic food production is a direct threat to the country. The numbers are stark, and the consequences are real. Without intervention, the American tomato industry may disappear entirely. The stakes have never been higher. As U.S. tomato growers struggled, Canada delivered another blow, a sudden ban on American tomatoes in early 2025. Citing quality and pesticide concerns, Canada closed a vital export market overnight. Trucks were turned away at the border, leaving farmers with unsellable, perishable crops. The domestic market, already flooded with Mexican imports, was overwhelmed, causing prices to crash. Growers faced devastating losses, forced to sell at a loss or let crops rot. The Canadian ban intensified the crisis, leaving U.S. farmers squeezed from both north and south. Many small and medium farms couldn't survive the financial shock. The ban also left American farmers feeling isolated and vulnerable, abandoned by a key trading partner. It exposed the risks of relying on export markets and underscored the need to strengthen domestic supply chains. The Canadian Wall didn't just block tomatoes, it revealed how precarious American agriculture has become. The domino effect was swift and severe. The lesson: global trade relationships can vanish overnight. The future of American farming depends on resilience at home. As the U.S. tomato industry falters, Mexican growers are thriving. With American farmers sidelined and Canada closed to U.S. exports, Mexican producers have seized the market. They now supply over 70% of fresh tomatoes sold in the U.S., a dominance worth an estimated $12 billion. This success is no accident. Mexican growers have invested in massive greenhouses and efficient logistics. While Americans cite unfair subsidies and labor practices, Mexican producers argue they're simply more competitive. Their market control gives them pricing power and a secure revenue stream. Profits are being reinvested to expand production, making a U.S. comeback even harder. Mexican leaders say they're playing by the rules and meeting consumer demand, while Berto Solorio of the Baja California Agricultural Council calls the issue political, not commercial. As U.S. fields go fallow, Mexico's greenhouses are booming. The $12 billion windfall is reshaping the North American tomato market. For now, American consumers depend on a single foreign source. The balance of power has shifted, perhaps for good. At the heart of the crisis is a failed trade pact, the Tomato Suspension Agreement, or TSA. Created in 1996, the TSA was meant to stop Mexican producers from dumping cheap tomatoes in the U.S., In exchange for a price floor, the U.S. suspended its anti-dumping investigation. But American growers say the agreement was riddled with loopholes and poorly enforced. During the TSA's lifetime, Mexican imports soared by 400%, while U.S. market share collapsed. Legal rulings in 2024 and 2025 confirmed that dumping was harming American farmers. The evidence was overwhelming. The pact wasn't working. On July 14, 2025, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick announced the TSA's termination. The move had broad bipartisan support and backing from farm groups. The Florida Tomato Exchange called for full enforcement of anti-dumping laws, not another flawed deal. Ending the TSA marked a turning point, clearing the way for tariffs to level the playing field. After decades of failed agreements, the U.S. tomato industry is fighting for survival. The next steps will determine its fate. The tomato crisis has sparked fierce debate across the country. For American farmers, it's a fight for survival against a flood of cheap imports. "We follow the rules and pay fair wages, but we can't compete," says one Florida grower. The Florida Tomato Exchange calls it a national crisis, threatening our food supply. Mexican growers reject accusations of unfair trade, insisting they're efficient and innovative. Walberto Solorio argues the issue is politicized, not about dumping. With the TSA gone, a 17% tariff on Mexican tomatoes has pushed prices higher. Restaurant owners like Teresa Razzo say they can't absorb the costs and fear losing customers. The central tension: protect domestic farms or keep prices low for consumers. Supporters of tariffs say they're needed to save American agriculture and prevent total dependence on imports. Opponents warn tariffs will raise grocery bills and hurt small businesses. The debate is about more than tomatoes. It's about the future of American food. The choices we make now will shape what ends up on our tables. The stakes are real for families, farmers, and businesses alike. With the old trade agreement gone, the U.S. faces a crossroads. Rebuilding the tomato industry means enforcing trade laws and supporting American farmers. New tariffs aim to level the playing field, but enforcement is key. Direct government support, grants, loans, and investment in technology can help farmers modernize and compete. Connecting growers with schools, hospitals, and government buyers can stabilize demand and strengthen local food systems. Consumer choice matters too. Buy local movements and clear labeling empower shoppers to support U.S. farmers. When consumers choose American-grown, they support jobs and food security. Restaurants and retailers can help by promoting domestic produce. The goal isn't to end trade, but to make it fair and sustainable. A revitalized tomato industry means stronger rural economies and a more secure food supply. For business owners like Teresa Razzo, it's the difference between survival and closure. The challenge is immense, but the opportunity is ours. The future of American food depends on the choices we make today.